Guys, it's Tommy here from Saleslucky, and today you guys are in for a treat. It was just my 30th birthday, and the day before I turned 30, I was inspired to write a letter to my 23-year-old self on the 13 things, the top 13 things that you gotta know, that you want to know, and that I'm sharing with you now that I'm turning 30, and a lot of the things that I learned in my 20s, okay? So I specifically wrote to my 23-year-old self because the Tommy younger than that probably wouldn't have listened a whole lot. And at 23 years old, I was kind of at a point in my life where I was primed for, new ways of thinking, new perspectives, and new, personal growth and personal development. So I'm just going to go ahead and start reading this letter, okay? So this would be addressed to my 23-year-old self, and these are the top 13 things that I would tell my 23-year-old self now that I'm turning 30, okay? Dear Tommy, I know you've been through a lot of the past few years and that you've grown a lot as well. I'm proud of who you've become and more importantly, who you're becoming. You've graduated college, traveled to different corners of the world, and have grown in the process. You're just starting out your life and you have so many wonderful things in store for you and lots of challenges as well. But as you'll learn, those are really gifts too. To help you better navigate this next decade coming up, I want to share with you 13 points that I've learned so you can better navigate this next decade of your life. Here they are. Number 1, trust yourself. There's a quote that I've once come across that said, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment," by Ralph Waldo Emerson. There's so much truth in this. There's a lot of noise out there, and as you've realized, what society finds popular or acceptable as far as social norms is always changing. But here are the things that don't change. Fundamental principles. Truth, love, human nature, the fundamental principles of the universe. Trust yourself. To borrow the words from another great man, have courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. That's by Steve Jobs. So trust yourself because you already know who you're meant to be and where you're meant to go. So just do it. You don't need permission. You don't need someone to come by and W is worthy. You don't need some magical counsel to tell you what your destiny is. You have a sense of what makes you come alive and what is really meaningful for you. So go do that. And just remember, at the end of the day, or at the end of your life, you'll regret more the things that you didn't do than the things that you did. So go do it. Go live life. Go learn. Go experience different things. Go travel. Go make an impact. Chase what makes you feel alive. Chase what fills you with passion in life. As cliche as it sounds, you don't want to arrive at the end of your life full of regrets and wondering what if. So go for it. Don't worry about what others are doing. No one else has it figured out either. So go for it. You already know what you truly want to become. Number 2, believe in yourself. Now, this might sound awfully similar to the first point, but it's not the same. And it's very important, so that's why I'm making this second point. Learn to believe in yourself. This is both a mindset and practical actions that you take. If you tell yourself you're going to do something, make sure you do it. Follow through. Make good on your promises to yourself and to others. That will help create a sense of self-belief and self-confidence. And don't forget that the world will readily place you where it wants you to fit or wants you to fit. If you don't have a plan or vision for yourself, someone else will. So be the director of your own story. Be the hero of your own life. The main lead in your own life movie. You get to write the script. Believe in yourself and recognize that when you look around, everything that you see was once created and was once an idea from another human being no more smarter than you. You can and will have an impact. You can and do have a choice. It's just up to you to decide which endeavors are worthy of pursuit and how much of an impact you want to make. Believe in yourself that you can do it. Number 3, desires come from God. The word desire literally breaks down to desire, which in Latin means of the Father. Let that sink in for a moment. What if your desires and your dreams were given to you? What if just by you having the desires and dreams that you do meant that you were capable of achieving them? What if just by having your desires and dreams meant you inherently have the capabilities and gifts capable of making them a reality? I know you've always believed in a higher power, whether you've called it God, the universe, Mother Nature, or infinite intelligence, and I know you've always felt her divine presence. And I'm here to tell you that instead of questioning and fighting with yourself, wondering why you're different, understand that your dreams are your treasure maps to fulfill. They are yours and yours only to fulfill. As Paulo Coelho calls it, they are your own personal legend. So understand that your dreams and desires are given to you and you only. And only you can fulfill them. So go fulfill them. Number 4, learn to drown out other people's voices. I've told you to trust yourself, believe in yourself, and to pursue your dreams. Now here's the truth. More dreams die in the hands of well-meaning family members and friends than anything else in this world. That's the truth. Out of an uninformed desire to protect, not wanting them to experience the pain of failure, or simply a projection of their own limiting beliefs. There are a lot of people who try to talk you out of your dreams just because they don't want to see you in pain, or simply because they didn't go for their own dreams. And most of these people might not be intending any harm, but be careful who you listen to. Learn to drown out the voices of other people, as bad advice can literally kill you. Tony Robbins paints this idea by telling the story of his original mentor, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn would ask, what would happen if your worst enemy came to you and dropped some sugar in your cup of coffee? You'd have sweet coffee, Tony replied. That's right, and what if your best friend in the entire world, or even a family member, came by and accidentally put strychnine, a deadly chemical, in your coffee? Well, you'd be dead, Tony said. That's right. Life is both sugar and strychnine, and watch what you put in your coffee. So what he's saying is to stand guard at the door of your mind. See what's coming in, who's saying it, what their intent is, and filter out to understand, and use, what comes in as something that will serve you in the world, and understand what won't. And here's the other thing. Don't be so worried about letting people go out of your life. It's normal to outgrow old friends who you used to spend time with. You're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to grow and change friends. And develop new friendships. Some people are not meant to be in your life forever. And sometimes it means that your values have changed and both of you are moving in a new direction. This is normal. There's no need to feel bad about it. There's no need to feel excessively loyal to people that you don't owe any loyalty to. You will attract new people into your life, new friends who are more aligned with your new values and whom you'll be able to push each other forward in life. And here's a final note on this point. When you start making ripples, some people may not like that and will try to throw stones from afar. Every single person who has ever accomplished anything in life has experienced this. Period. This is part of the process. This is important for 2 reasons. 1, they add fuel to the fire, and 2, remember that they don't make statues out of critics, okay? Number 5. You are very young and in a very pivotal point in your life. You are discovering who you are, what you like, and what you stand for. Focus on yourself and do the things that fill you with passion. Develop and immerse yourself in skill sets that will serve you and others. Learn and grow, develop, experience life. Don't go chasing after other people or go out looking for love. Focus on you right now. Get yourself and your life right, and everything else will fall in place. I promise. Also, don't be misled by distraction or the noise. The world you live in is busier and noisier than ever. With social, the internet, how busy everyone is, learn to direct your focus on the few things that matter a lot. And let go of the little minutiae that serve little or no purpose in the long run. The sooner you cut out distractions and the outside noise, the faster you'll get to where you want to go. Number 6, seek mentors. So far, I've shared a lot about trusting yourself, listening to your heart, cutting out distractions that don't serve you. I want to add something else. Seek mentors. While it's incredibly important to trust your instincts, it's also important to know that you don't have all the answers and to seek out the people who do. This is critical. To be able to distinguish who are people that you should listen to and who are those people of advice that you should probably ignore. The easiest way to gauge this is, do they have the result that I'm looking for? In other words, have they achieved what I'm looking to achieve? If I want to learn sales, am I learning from somebody who's actually done it? Am I learning from someone credible? It's important to not take advice from people who don't have the result that you want. That goes back to point number 4 about drowning out other people's voices. You wouldn't take health and nutritional advice from someone who's massively obese, right? The same way you shouldn't take your sales advice from someone who hasn't sold anything to save their life. The same way you shouldn't take advice from people who haven't achieved the result that you want to achieve in life. But do take advice from the people that you see living an extraordinary life. Seek those people out. Get their books and consume their content. Soak up their wisdom. They are doing things that most people aren't. And that's why they're getting results that most people don't get. Do listen to the people who are achieving and living life on their own terms. Do listen to the people who have created extraordinary results that you would like in your own life. Get around those people. Learn from them. And be mentored by them. Role model them. Listen, read, and watch their content. Soak it up. Immerse yourself in it. At the end of the day, think for yourself. And remember that success always leaves clues. Do whatever it takes to get around these people and learn from these people who are living an extraordinary quality of life. Not just in financial terms, but on every level. Pay for it if you have to. Do whatever it takes. Get around these extraordinary people. Seek wisdom. Seek mentors. Number 7, trust in a higher power. One belief I've picked up over the past few years that will definitely serve you as well is the belief that life is happening for you, not to you. I know you already believe in a higher power, but I'm here to tell you to strengthen it. And notice all the blessings, guidance, and magical moments in your life right now. Everything happens for a reason, and trust that all of it is going to shape you for the better. The road to Rome is paved with your own steps. It's like what Steve Jobs said about trusting the things that will connect in your life. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking back. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference. That's by Steve Jobs at his Stanford commencement speech in 2005 that he gave to the Stanford grads. You must trust that there is a greater purpose to everything that happens in life. God's delays are not God's denials. You must trust that there is a purpose to everything and that everything is happening to help conspire you to be the best version of yourself and fulfill your full potential. You must believe and see everything as helping you in serving a purpose and where you want to go. Number 8, embrace different cultures. This is something that's absolutely key. You'll learn as you're exposed to different cultures, and by living with people in their own countries, that you'll gain distinctions and insights in life that could hardly be gained otherwise. It's really true what they say. Traveling can be some of the best education a person can get. Not only that, but it will teach you so much about yourself. As said, since the ancient Greeks ruled Rome, know thyself. By embracing and being curious about other cultures, you'll have the opportunity to take what you like best from each culture and make it your own. You'll be able to assimilate and widen your perspective and understand more deeply that we are all really just people. From where I'm writing to you, there's some turbulent times right now. There's a lot of turmoil in the media and divisiveness promoted every way that you look. But spending time around people from different backgrounds and cultures, especially those that you're interested in, will help you get a richer perspective of life and of yourself. You'll give yourself permission to be more of yourself In other words, they will help you become more of who you're meant to be. And remember, there's no need to put yourself in a box. So society might try to do that. Institutions might try to do that. But you don't need to do that to yourself. Embrace whatever you're interested in and dive deep into that. Number 9. The secret to living is giving. I could probably write you a full essay just on this. But boy, do you want to learn this as soon as possible. Just understand that you get back what you put out in this world. That is a universal fundamental law of the universe. Like gravity, it does not err. Do the right thing. Always do your best and remember to live by the golden rule. Treat others as you would want to be treated yourself. Also, if you haven't started doing so, start giving a percentage of your income away. Begin to tithe. It'll change your whole perspective and it'll change you. You see, you don't get beyond scarcity mindset. You have to start beyond it. So start giving. If it's one thing I've observed of very wealthy people is that they are givers. If you're not willing to give a dime out of $1, you can be sure that you're not going to give 100,000 out of $1 million. You have to start where you are and build the habits now. Ask yourself, how can I give? How can I add more value? How can I help this person? Those things will serve you and you'll make a bigger impact. Another name for this is the law of reciprocity. You get what you give. Believe that. Number 10, the best is yet to come. Listen, Tommy, you're super young right now. You might not feel like that, but you are. And right now is when you need to build the habits necessary to win. Start now, so in a few short years, you'll have developed the habits that will allow you to succeed in whatever you choose. And also understand that there is a price to everything. So be ready to pay that price. It's better to pay that price today so you can live a better life tomorrow. Do what you have to do to invest in yourself and your future. And if you decide to pay the price today and again the day after that and keep doing it again and again, it will be inevitable that your life will not only keep getting better and better, it will be inevitable that your life will only keep getting better and better because you're constantly playing for the long term. And please remember to enjoy the journey along the way as well. Treasure every single moment. We talk about the tough moments that test us, that forge us into the people that we're meant to be. And also the beautiful, magical, delicious moments of life. And my advice here is this. When you're living those moments, soak every single one of them up as much as possible. Be there and be there fully. Savor every last drop. Because those are the moments that really make life worth it. And know that the best is yet to come. If you're growing and investing in yourself and the world every day, things are only going to improve. So just know that the best is yet to come. Most people have the mindset that high school or college were their best days. Not us. You and I know that the best is yet to come. Ain't that right? The best is always yet to come. Number 11. Always be the hardest worker in the room. It's popular nowadays to talk about working smart, and yes, it's very important to work intelligently. However, there is no substitute to hard work. That's like trying to bake a cake without flour. You can add all the sugar you want, but if you don't add some flour, that thing is not going to bake. Always be the hardest worker in the room. Especially when conditions are not ideal. We call those separator days. Days when most people choose to sit around and do nothing and point fingers about how things are not ideal, but when we put in the work to get better, to move closer to our destiny every single day, those are separator days. There's not much else to be said. You gotta work hard. This may not be the longest point out of the bunch, but this might be the most important, that's for sure. Okay? Number 12. 13 is a lucky number, aka be different. Most of your life you've been taught to fit in and blend in. In fact, that's what we're all taught in our school systems. But I'm here to tell you that the most successful people in the world, from Bruce Lee to Drake to Elon Musk to Oprah Winfrey, these people win because they're different. These people win because they are these people. They don't try to fit in. They are themselves. Don't afraid to be different. When most people go left, it might not be a bad idea to go right. Think for yourself. Question why things are the way they are. Why is 13 an unlucky number? 13 is the luckiest number. Be different. Question things. You get to decide what something means. You get to decide how to create your life. Number 13. Only when it's dark enough can you see the stars. I read that in Martin Luther King's autobiography. It said that when he was in his darkest of times, he would pray, and he came across this quote in whatever he was reading. And he said it stood out to him, made an impression on him. Only when it's dark enough can you see the stars. And isn't that so timely for a situation like the world is going through right now, where it seems like chaos is in every direction that we look? But just know this, in every obstacle, there is the seed of an equivalent or greater opportunity. In other words, there's two sides to every coin. In every negative thing in your life, that exact same situation has the seed of an equivalent or greater positive thing. It's always there as long as you decide to find it. Those are just the facts. Nature compensates for every infirmity or lack with something else of greater or equal or greater value. One day you'll realize that every pain point and everything that seemed like a setback for you will become a strength and advantage for you. Oh, and another thing. In a couple of years, you'll get a tattoo of your arm on your arm that says crisis in Chinese. That's because the Chinese word for crisis is Wei Ji, which means it's made up of two characters. The first character comes from danger. The second character comes from opportunity. Therefore, in every crisis, there's both danger and opportunity. You guys can see this right here. Crisis. In every crisis, there's danger and opportunity. Only when it's dark enough can you see the stars. Have a good one, guys.